Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukeness Monster, and this is episode 20 of Summer in Space. This may all be happening right now. Today we've got some super exciting New York Comic-Con reveals to go over, including some brand new Skeleton Crew figures, as well as one of the coolest Revenge of the Sith throwback packaging figures, Commander Cody, to talk about. So, a lot to go over today. As always, I am your host, Lukeness Monster, with my co-host.
Hello, I'm SideQuester.
And today we've got a lot to talk about. And so, as well as talking about the Cody, we're also going to be talking about some of the other figures that are rumored to come out in that throwback 20th Revenge of the Sith packaging. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Jumping right into the reveals. First up, we've got. I'm going to start off with, as I believe his name is Jod. Is his name Jod or Jord? I think it's Jod.
It's Jod Nanawood.
We have Ja Nanawood, and he is, I believe, the main character of Skeleton Crew-ish, or one of the main characters. Again, the show's not out, so we don't really know, but his figure here is a completely brand new sculpt. I kind of like the Sherlock Holmes trench coat kind of look here.
Mm-hmm.
I think, brand new sculpt head to toe. I think it looks great. Just we don't really have the show out to judge how good the characters are yet, so I think that's the biggest thing. There's this like big dilemma is like, would you rather have the figures out on store shelves whenever the show is coming out, or do you want them to ship a year and a half later, like how we're still getting Ahsoka show stuff and Mando season 3 stuff? And I 100% believe this is the best way to do it. Like, obviously we don't know what it is now, but in 2 months when the show's coming out and it's a really freaking cool character, you can just walk down to your Walmart and Target and pick it up. And I think that's the way to go.
Right. No, I agree. I like that they're releasing them kind of in time with the show. I like that they're all coming out in one assortment. I think that's a huge step in the right direction. And that kind of goes back to, we've talked about this before, when the prequels were out, and I mean the originals as well, they had product out probably a month or so before the movie. So it was just at random, or not at random. It was kind of a crapshoot if the character was going to be good or not. So you bought the figures that you liked, that looked neat to you, that you could create your own adventures with. That's kind of why I think a lot of people like the random aliens, uh, because they didn't know anything about the characters. They were just in the background for one shot, or a couple shots in the background. So they made their own stories for these characters. The benefit to Hasbro is, if the show comes out and people don't like it, they have already bought the toys, and there's nothing that can be done. So they can't really return them. Well, I guess they could, but
The distributor can return them, or
exactly.
the stores. Yeah.
As far as Jod Nanawood himself, I think it's funny when every time I see that name, it sounds like something that Michael Jackson used to say in his songs, or like used to sing, like that, the kind of the nonsensical words like shaman and he and all that, just like Jod Nanawood. Um, the sculpting looks cool. I there are things that I like about it. I think it's very accurate to the look of the character. For some reason, it kind of irks me that he's wearing Lando's shirt.
Is he really? I
And
didn't even notice.
it's just the low cut,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
butterfly. It might not be a butterfly collar. It looks like Lando's shirt from Bespin. Um, I saw some other people mentioning that he kind of looks like Star-Lord, and
Let me
now
pull up this. Let me pull up
I,
this glam shot real quick.
I can't unsee it. Just with the kind of Ravagers trench coat, and even the scarf thing too. Um,
I don't see it. I mean, maybe it's the receding hairline. I don't. I think with the scarf, it kind of does.
I just meant like the costume, not
Oh,
the Jude
I'm.
Law look.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One of the things I do really like about the look of him and the Brutus that we'll talk about in a few minutes here is how kind of piratey it looks. Like the way the cuffs on the jacket are, and kind of the pockets have like kind of gold accents to it and stuff, and they even have the pistols even kind of look like old flintlock pistols. To me, that's kind of neat, and it is something that I haven't seen as much with Star Wars. So I'm like, okay, I give it a +1, and I'll that maybe will help me go into this new property with a better attitude. So
And I think that kind of brings us into the next reveal, which was Captain Pirate Brutus. I absolutely love Captain Pirate Brutus. I think he looks great. There's a ton of paint apps. I think the design is great. He has like 4 or 5 blasters on him too, like with a cross, like bandolier. Super cool design. And whether the character is cool or not, which I'm pretty sure he's going to be a cool character, but if he's not, he's going to be a great Cantina Patreon too. And so I think this one is a win-win. He's easily gonna be the bestseller of the wave. So really excited for him.
I just pulling up the picture now. Yeah, definitely cool. I love the all the new design. Same thing, very piratey with the cuffs and the all the bandolier with all the pistols and everything. Super neat. What I'm concerned about is that this character looks so neat. It's really cool for all the reasons that you said. What if he gets sidelined and he's only in the show for like 10 minutes in the entire season?
Yeah, I'm really hoping he's gonna be like the main villain, and so we'll see. That's kind of the impression I got. But next up, we have we're gonna go through the I think the kids pretty quick because they're kind of all the same. But first up, we have Fern. She has the most ordinary clothes, I guess, except for one. The one other kid there has some ordinary clothes. We'll get to him in just a second. But Fern is pretty cool. You know, leather jacket, pants. You know, it's normal kind of Star Warsy clothes. I nothing super special, but like I think it depends on how cool the characters are. Like I think if these kids are written well, they'll sell well. But I think if they're written poorly, they're gonna peg for them. And I think it just comes down to that. She comes with a backpack, a flashlight, you know, the typical kind of filler accessories, I guess, for small
Kid
characters. Yeah,
accessories,
kid
children
accessories. Yeah.
children accessories for action figures. They always have a backpack. They always have a flashlight.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not true. You a lot of
He's
them don't
right behind me, isn't he? uh,
the figure looks cool. Again, it's kind of there's a weird vibe that I'm getting from the look of a lot of these characters, and they really look like what if the 1980s happened in Star Wars. And that's one of the things that I can't quite get over because it looks like similar to what kids wore when I was younger, and then just kind of Star Warsed up. Oh, let's put a patch here. Let's put those little cylinder things in their pockets that what are they, key cards or whatever. She does really look like the redheaded girl from Stranger Things to me, though. So maybe she'll be, the
maybe
like
that's the aesthetic they're going for. Is like for
Mhm.
the Stranger Things. Again, I'm gonna say Goonies a lot, but the Goonies kind of '80s look, and
I think you're right on the nose with that. Like I think that's exactly what they were going for. Uh they wanted to do a Goonies esque kind of a thing, and Stranger Things is really successful. So of course they're going to be like, oh well, we got to take influence from that. If it has like 80s synth wave
that'd be
music,
sick. But arranged by John Williams.
right? Oh, I don't know. Okay, which is the next one?
Next one is gonna be Neil, which is not Max Rebo's species apparently.
Blue Elephant.
Blue elephant. Blue elf. Is I think I like the design of the alien. I think the alien looks cool. I think the red and yellow overalls look really dumb. He's got the McDonald's look going on, and I've seen in the trailer he's got other outfits. I'm like, you picked the worst possible outfit to put him into.
This was like a common thing again in the 80s with little kids and put them in these overalls like this. There was a show called Webster in the 80s that I think in the intro he wore these little things. I think I had overalls like this because they were cute. It's a neat looking figure. I don't know that I have any interest in it. I tend to like figures that are more like actiony, that do things with weapons and not have flashlights and walkie talkies. But not not going. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, again, I think it's one of those. How's the character going to be written? That's going to determine if he sells. So we'll see. But if it's one of those, if they're written like the Stranger Things characters, they've got a lot of depth, and like if they are the main characters of the show, like I think that they're gonna sell well, and like they just got to be well written. And I feel like that's kind of one thing that Disney does with when they do this, when they have like an adult and their kid sidekicks. I feel like they're just kind of sidekicks. They're not fully developed characters, and I really want the kids to be the main characters so that they can get the proper screen time and like character development that would cause these figures to sell well.
Right, and I will say that I think that one of the things the show has going for it is that the showrunner is John Watts, who did the Spider-Man trilogy, the No Way Home or Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. He seems to be able to tell that story really well. An ensemble of characters that are younger that have to try to navigate through a problem in the grown-up world.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could be good.
Yeah, I think it could be good. Okay, next one is gonna be Whim. I think this
Whim.
one is gonna sell the worst, just
Why
because
do you say that?
the clothes are the most ordinary. It's the least Star Wars looking.
Yeah, I mean he comes with a lot of stuff though in comparison. I think it doesn't maybe the KB girl, the last one, maybe she comes with the most stuff. I can't remember, but um again, it's interesting. He does look the most normal. He kind of reminds me of the Peter Parker figure that they made.
Oh yeah, I got that figure sitting somewhere up here.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Um I, I don't know. I'm thinking about like, oh, maybe you could make a little bit older Anakin from something. I'm trying to think of like what else you could use the mold for. We'll have to wait and see. It looks like the kid that plays him. That-
It's cool
So
looking. I don't like the socks and sandals, but
does he have sandals? Oh, hang on.
or either their socks and sandals or their bowling shoes.
They're like they're like Velcro shoes.
Yeah, they're like bowling shoes.
That's hilarious. I didn't even notice that, bro. Good catch.
It's so weird looking.
Um,
Anyway, the next one is KB, and I really, really like this figure. It is by far the most Star Wars looking one of the show. I think the like over not overalls, but like the I don't know what to call it, like the jumpsuit,
coveralls.
oh, like,
Coveralls.
coveralls. That's what I'm looking for. Is by far the most like Star Warsy, mechanicy kind of look, and of course like the goggle visor lobot, like reverse lobot earpiece thing looks
Mhm.
super cool. Um, yeah, I think this one's by far gonna sell the best of the kids, and I think this is another one that like you could buy and you could have as like a background canteen alien or something too. She's got it. She looks very Star Warsy, very futuristic kind of. I like this one a lot.
I thought she came with more accessories. Apparently not. Yeah, I love the visor. I love the look. Uh, Definitely, like you said, very Star Warsy. I think this could easily be translated into a Pelimoto.
Yeah. I could really see
I was
that.
waiting for you to laugh.
Maybe no, maybe you're onto something. Maybe they just sculpted this to look like Pelimoto so they can repaint it.
They're just giving this girl her clothes from Mando. Here, put this on. It'll be fine.
As
It'll look Star Wars.
Hasbro says we need to make you look like Pelimoto.
She's
I'm
about the right
getting
height.
there's one glam shot here where she's like holding the thing and I'm getting such like Cyclops vibes from it. Like she's
Totally.
about to shoot a red laser beam straight out of her. Like
Right.
that's like it's a cool pose.
If my friend were on here, who's a huge comic book nerd, he would be like, "Well, actually, Cyclops' eyes open to another dimension where energy from that side is released. It's not a laser beam." I heard
That's
Joseph's voice in my
wild.
head. It's a cool looking character. I gravitate towards it because I worked at a KB toy store, and I'm wondering if the KB name has to do with that reference. Because again, total '80s kind of vibe we're going here. It looks neat. I think with any of these, I'm going to have to wait to see what happens. You know what they do.
I 100% agree with you there.
I don't see myself buying any of them outright, except for maybe the Captain Brutus, because like you said, it could be the character from the show, could just be a background alien that looks really neat.
But yeah, so all of these figures are actually not going up for pre-order. They're actually just going to start showing up in stores. They're in case assortments of 6, I believe. Do we know which ones are double packed, or are they just in full assortments?
I think they might come in cases of 8. That's kind of the standard now. So I don't know how many characters there
So,
are.
so I'm guessing probably Jod and Brutus are double packed. If I had
I
to
would
guess,
think, or maybe at least 2 Jods. How many characters are there? You got KB,
there's
you got
6 total with the
Wim,
4
Fern.
kids, Brutus and yeah, the 4 kids,
Uh,
Brutus and Jod.
unless maybe they are doing a case of 6 for these. I would imagine if there's one of the kid characters that kind of stands out as the main character, maybe they're double packed. But I would think that the Jude Law character would be double packed.
I would
He's
think so too.
the heavy hitter, unless maybe there's another secret character they haven't announced yet.
But yeah, I think that's the best call to do it that way. I don't. I think the with the show not being out yet, I don't think a pre-order would really do well for it. I just think that letting it show up in stores and people going to buy the at stores when the show is coming out, I think is the best way to do it. So I'm pretty happy with their decision here.
I agree. I see this as these are the efforts that both Disney and Hasbro are doing to try to course correct the last few years, to win back the fan base. There's no pre-orders, so it doesn't clog up the pipeline, as it were, for a future product coming out. Uh, if they sell well, they'll end up doing a second run of them later. If they don't, we're here. We get them. We get them shipped to the stores, and we move on. And I think it's a good way to go. It's a good way to try it because, like each of these characters, each of the kid characters, they have the what is it Atin
I'm guessing that's the
Atin.
planet that they're from. Yeah,
So it would stand to reason that at some point, like you said, the little Cabbage Patch Kid blue elephant thing had different looks in the trailer. If they do well, then maybe they can do a second wave of different versions of the characters, and they already have the head sculpts and everything at least. So maybe that's the way that they're going with it. I think it's very very smart for them just to get them out, and instead of having there be too much lead up to it, you know.
yeah. I mean, especially with like the acolyte too. Those ones were revealed like 3 or 4 months before the show was coming out, and they went up for pre-order. And there just was like the hype was around it, but like it just wasn't there. And after the show came out, especially wasn't there. And so I do think this is the best way to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, next up we have the really, really heavy hitter of New York Comic Con, and that is the Walmart exclusive 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith Commander Cody. This figure is really dang cool. It's on the brand new 2023 body, which I don't know why it's the brand new 2023 body anymore because it's 2024, almost 2025. But the body's incredible. It was definitely like a needed upgrade. And heavy hitter too. It's in the Revenge of the Sith throwback packaging, which people have been asking for almost 5 years now. And so excited to finally see some of that throwback packaging. And it comes with the Palpatine hologram.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Like Such a cool
Yeah,
accessory.
I'm stoked for this. It as soon as we saw the images of it, I got hit with this like wave of nostalgia. Didn't even realize that Cody never came out in the Revenge of the Sith
He
line.
was a Saga Legends, right?
He was, but I remember the image, the insert of him holding the Sidious hologram, and but yeah, just seeing that package again, it's crazy. I not because I'm trying to be like, oh, see, you whippersnapper, you missed out. But there's this wave of all these things, positive and negative, from that. Uh, Walmart, Target, they used to do these like midnight launches for the new product. So they'd have these massive displays. Like if you walked into Target and you looked at an entire aisle, both sides of the action figure aisle, that was all dedicated to Star Wars, and they would have thousands of figures on day one, and then there'd be certain characters that you couldn't find. So I lived in LA at the time, and I would go from store to store to try to get all of them. It was this great kind of treasure hunt kind of thing. When the Revenge of the Sith figures came out, they have the kind of weird angular die cut cardboard, and then they have a curved rounded bubble, and it was a nightmare
To like
trying to
stack
hold
them and
on
hold
to,
them.
yeah, like you're buying 10, 20 figures at a time, trying to get them all stacked, and then trying to find ones that weren't dinked in the corners, the sides of the Vader helmet, because they would get rounded. It was crazy. So anyway, uh, I did pre-order them from Walmart. I pre-ordered two of them so that they'll ship them in a box. That's the trick. Don't order one. Order two, because then you get the free shipping, and chances are they'll ship them in a box instead of being like,
The
"Oh, just
bubble
a figure."
mailer.
Put it in
Yeah.
a bubble mailer. So I always order two, and I'm hoping that they arrive without the corners all messed up. Um, Great looking figure. I love it. I know it's not 100% accurate with the face sculpt and stuff, but it just Cody is just such a cool character, cool design. I love it, and I am so stoked for this figure.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Um, it does have its flaws. We'll talk about the flaws here a little bit. It's obviously the haircut's a little different. And then he's missing the scar that makes him Commander Cody.
Mm.
Like I get it. I understand why Hasbro doesn't want to make a new mold for it. They obviously should have made a new mold for it. But it's one of those. It's one of the figures that I'm gonna keep the helmet on anyway, so I'm not too conflicted. Like, yeah, helmet's gonna go on.
Do you think that this Walmart exclusive is just the packaging, and that we'll get a regular Cody in a mural box?
So I will say, Yakface today and Out of the Basement's live stream, um, he commented, like, what if the mainline release came with the scar with a laughing emoji? Obviously as a joke, but does that mean there's gonna be a mainline release?
When he posted the speculation breakdown for the cases, I thought it was just that the Cody was being announced in a regular wave. So this Walmart exclusive one is kind of a kind of a curveball. What would be hilarious is if they had planned on releasing the Walmart one as the regular release, and they're like, "No, we have to do the new head sculpt because the fans demand it." And so they're like, "Oh, just kick that one to Walmart, and we'll redo the head sculpt. Have that come out later in the
People
box."
would be so pissed. No, what'll happen is they'll repaint this one and make the Imperial Cody, and the Imperial Cody will come with the scar and the correct head sculpt and everything, and you'll have to buy two of those just to head swap.
Or, well, I was gonna say, what if this is like a younger version of Cody, but it's on the Revenge of the Sith card? So, um, yeah, I'm happy to get it. I don't care that he doesn't have the scar. I didn't even notice it until I was thinking about the main release, the original figure where he had the helmet that came off. The heads were always like really small, and I thought he had like a paint flub, but his hair, I think there's like cuts in the side of the haircut, isn't it? Isn't that
Yeah,
part of
he is.
the?
He's got like a fade almost.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so like I think that his hair is too long on the sides with this figure. Like it's the normal clone cut, but like they should have done it a little different for Cody here.
I'm I'm still on board with it.
Yeah, I'm
It's
still gonna get it. I
uh
actually I did. I've ordered two, but
so it'll come in a box. So they will come in a box. Yeah, I there are very few prequel figures that it's like an immediate click the button to order, and that's one of them. Cody is probably well, Cody was like my favorite clone from the that era because the Clone Wars hadn't come out yet, and he just had the coolest design. He had the jetpack and the little bells and whistles on his helmet, and that yeah, he was always one that I wanted immediately, so had to order.
yeah, he's really cool. Definitely one of the cooler designs. And now, unfortunately, he's missing the gray stripes on his biceps.
Well, actually, Cyclops. Uh,
So yeah, which is just weird. I mean, it's okay. I didn't even notice it until somebody pointed it out, and so eh, I don't care. I'm still gonna get it. It's still gonna be awesome. It's just people nitpicking, and I get it. It's not accurate. The old one had more paint. Like I get it, but it's just so cool. I'm willing to overlook it.
do you do you get it?
I don't get it.
Do you think that the inevitable Imperial Cody that comes out is just going to be the exact same thing? Or do you think that they would actually go in and change it? Like, I know it's wishful thinking,
I don't.
but
I don't think he's gonna come with the hologram.
I wonder if the Imperial Cody is just going to have the helmet on permanently.
It might.
Then they don't have to deal with it. The naysayer.
To be honest, I'd be fine with that because then they could use the paint apps to go to other weathering or other paint details. So I'd be fine with that.
The
Just so
gray
they don't.
stripe on his arm. They could do the gray stripe. I'm gonna have to look it up now because I have no idea what you're talking about. What's the
So
gray stripe?
he's got a gray stripe that goes from like his wrist up his arm all the way up to the shoulder, and he just doesn't have it on his forearm
Hmm.
for some reason. They just missed it. Like like a Rex has the blue stripe that goes all the way
Okay,
up. He's got a gray stripe.
I didn't know that. Maybe they just ran out of money for that one. Oh,
Well,
ah,
they weathered his chest, but nothing else. Which I thought it looks okay. I don't think it looks weird. I mean, the original one doesn't have any weathering, but it has the paint chips in it has the paint chips, and so I think that's strange. So I'm glad they did some like weathering. I just wish they would have done it all over the figure.
he has no weathering on his back.
He has none on his back. No, can't say I'm
Um,
surprised though.
yeah, that doesn't bother me too much.
And like, regardless, I think the figure looks great. I really have like very few complaints about him.
I can't say that I really have any. Like I just it's just such a cool look, a cool looking character from the get go, and the fact that they're doing it all right with the he's got the different shoulder pads, he's got the remolded helmet. I can't tell if the hand is a new hand. It's a newly sculpted, correct?
I don't know. I might just be the trigger finger.
Um,
I don't know. Okay, no, I think
uh,
the idea is if it has a horizontal hinge, then it's got to be new because they've only ever done vertical hinges on
yeah.
the
Oops,
right wrist.
do that. Nah, that's he, the standard hand is a little bit tighter grip. That's what the pictures that I saw where he's holding the rifle in his right hand. It just looks like he doesn't. It doesn't look like he holds it too tight, and I think it's because the way the hand is sculpted, it's kind of like this. so that he can hold the hologram, but then
Hologram,
also
probably.
make it look like he's holding the gun. But I I, I think it's going to sit a little loose in his hand.
Yeah, probably.
But overall, super cool. And that Sidious hologram, so neat, so cool.
Alrighty, so yeah, those are the reveals from New York Comic Con. Obviously, you guys have to let us know what you guys think down in the comments below, because these are some controversial figures with Skeleton Crew, as well as some of the flaws on Cody. So we gotta know what you guys think in the comments. So leave one down below, and we'll do our best to reply to as many as we can. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, consider hitting that join button down below. Of course, check out Sidequester's channel. It's always linked in the description. And any closing thoughts?
Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.